The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom.
What is going on, everybody? It is David Palmer, the Leo King, and I am here live on October the 17th of 2016. Hope everybody's doing wonderful out there. I am coming to you straight from the Leo King studios here in Southern California. And we've got a lot to talk about today. That is because today we are going to talk about what in the hell is going on with this after effect of the full moon. This was a very powerful full moon in Aries that just finished off during the weekend. It was a Sun-Uranus aspect. Talk about one thing happening and then turning out another way, or just things going way different than you could ever predict. That's one thing about Uranus. You never know what you're going to get. And let's take a look at this, because I think I want to help people understand what's going on with what's going on. So here is the Cosmic Watch app. They do a 3D version of this. Some people have been asking me for a flat Earth version, which, to be honest with everybody here, if you want the flat Earth version, it's pretty simple. Just load up your standard astrology chart, and there you go. So why don't we look at it this way, and then we'll look at it 3D, because everybody was getting crazy on me about flat Earth and stuff like that. Why don't we actually turn back the tide? There's that full moon Saturday night. So it brought up a lot of excitement. I think that everybody got exciting for the future. One thing about Uranus is it'll show you the future. You'll get a little glimpse of it, kind of like a crystal ball, but not really. It's almost just like you get a flash of light, like, wow, I can see what connections are coming together. And I think there was a lot of great connections that came together, relationships and people. But there also was a downside to it as well. This was about our egos breaking. This was about our egos realizing we need a certain kind of relationship in our life, certain kind of people to be in our world. And the reason why I say that is, ego is a hard thing. I mean, I know we're all in the spiritual community told to crush it and destroy it. But, with Uranus here, we're learning to enlighten our egos in many ways. And ego isn't all bad. There is a part where it identifies with your name and who you are and what you want in your life. And it came into a big conflict with this Libra energy, right? The Sun in Libra, Mercury in Libra, and Mercury as well, you have to realize, was in square to Pluto during this full moon. So it really did not make for a very fun, out of nowhere realization. A good example, okay, and I'm just going to use the Cubs, for example, in baseball. They won the first game on the full moon night. Woohoo! Right? Yeah, with the grand slam. Yesterday, they got their ass beat. Not like hard, but they lost. They got shut out. They couldn't even score a run. And I think it's interesting with relationships. It was like, here's these exciting relationships, and then some of them come to kind of a head, or some part of your life comes to a head where you have to kind of go in a new direction that you've never been before. And this is also the planet of freedom. There's a part that maybe we wanted to free ourselves from something. let's look at the 3D version because I want to describe what I see here with the Venus aspect. So here is the planets in the 3D version of the chart on Cosmic Watch. As you can see, we have the sun, of course, in Libra still. You can see the sun right here, right? It's got a lot of energy. I'm surprised it's there. There it is, Sun, Jupiter, Mercury, all here in Libra. And the moon, which you could see over here now, is no longer in Aries. It is now in Taurus. But what's interesting is the opposition. Venus is about to move into Sagittarius. So we're about to have a big transformation here with relationships. Well, there's the Pluto and Mars aspect. But here it is. Look at that Venus, that star. You can see it at sunset. That's the brightest star in the sky. Look at how it is exactly on the edge of Scorpio and Sagittarius. I'll make that a little bit more clear. Boom. And what's about to happen is there is going to be this cliffhanger moment. And the reason why I'm calling it the cliffhanger moment is because Venus at the end of Scorpio, it wants to hold on as much as it can, but if it's not right, it just kind of doesn't work out. It's like, oh my gosh, can you hold on? Or should I let go? What should I do? I don't know. And there's so much intensity. There's so much emotion. There's so much, holy cow, are we going to be able to do it? Don't let go. Don't let go. Do you guys like my commentary? I hope you guys like my commentary, or I might think I'm just a ludicrous guy. But, oh my gosh, no, don't. And this full moon in Aries kind of brought that. Now, I'm not saying, however hard you want to hold on to something with Uranus and Aries too, with the full moon and stuff, and especially with the sun in Libra, it's kind of like the unpredictable. Like this is in this movie, if you've never seen Cliffhanger, Sylvester Stallone's like, I think that's his girlfriend or his wife. They're big cliffhangers, and she ends up falling and dying here. But that's Venus in detriment in Scorpio, and it's not a bad, horrible position, but it is not the most, amazing position. Unfortunately, especially with the moon that's opposing this directly. If you see on the other side here, the moon's in Taurus wanting to feel good, but it's got that opposition of Venus in Scorpio, which might be things are falling apart, things are ending, and Venus enters into Sagittarius late tonight, which there'll be a big breakthrough. There'll be a big opening, a big fire sign, positive energy. But to be honest with you, it's going to be a little short-lived. Saturn is really close by. So if you notice, look at Venus is going to hit Saturn. And at the same time, look at this. The Mars and Pluto conjunction is coming almost dead conjunct. Look at that. They're almost having sex. Both planets rule sex. So, what this is actually, I know that might sound crazy. I'm talking about sex and all that stuff. You know what it is your true inner desires. This was a heavily Martian energy that came through. And when you have that, it's hard. It's hard because I think we get stuck into wanting this Venus, wanting these things to work out that might not work out right now because it's tough. Mars and Pluto conjunct in Capricorn really to me is, you have to get to the bottom of where the trail is going in life, where things are really meant to be, where things will really work out. And I think it's been difficult because things are working out differently than people thought, but at the same time, it also is working out for the way that's better. And you got to almost accept that. And that's hard. That's hard. But you know what? That's why Uranus is a hard planet. You got to roll with the punches. You got to roll with the weirdness. You got to roll with the earthquake. You got to roll with the tsunami. You got to roll with it. You can't fight it. And Uranus in Aries tends to want to fight it a little bit. Like, oh gosh, things didn't work out, especially with the sun in Libra and Jupiter now in Libra. I think it's been a little difficult these last couple days. But at the same token, I want to say this. I think that there has been an extremely positive and beautiful aspect that has happened that many people don't realize. That This is opening a powerful doorway into your true wants, your true desires, the true road that is meant for you. And anything that is not in alignment with that, anything that is not mirroring that, is being ushered out actually quite peacefully. Even though I think the full moon brought it up maybe harsh, or maybe something came up that was kind of intense for you, or even, Uranus, exciting, I think exciting things comes. It's now a time to really usher the right things in and the wrong things out. And so this is a very kind of powerful move by the universe of like a powerful usher moment, like not usher like cheating on you with another girl and having a baby usher, but like the ushering in of a new energy. Now, if we come into today, here, this is like exact time, right? Like it was actually, we can move it up a little bit. What time do we got here? It's it's close to 51 or 49. Okay, so this is the exact moment of the planets right now. Moon and Taurus about to oppose this. Venus is at the last degree. So this cliffhanger moment with relationships, I think, is a big deal. When you have the sun, especially in Libra, and you have Venus at the edge of detriment in the darkest degree of Scorpio and the most intense and the most edgy, while you have Mars and Pluto, hard decisions. You know what? It's like you got to learn to be a businessman or woman in life right now, with romance, with love, with relationships. And the hardest part is Neptune is at its stationary degree and it's starting to slow down. And here's Jupiter. Jupiter's getting ready to make a big aspect to Neptune. And both Jupiter and Neptune in a weird degree like this, weird aspect like this, especially in a weird sign energy, okay? Like Libra Pisces is very odd. We kind of like feel like we're, I don't know, I can't describe this any better, but it just kind of feels like guilty of feeling what we want to feel. It's the best way I could put it. And realizing that there is other things that are coming in that are more right for the situation and what's going on right now. So I want to help people out because I'll be honest, in my personal life, holy cow, man, it was a gnarly transit. I knew this being an astrologer coming up, like I didn't think it would be as gnarly as it would be, but it was gnarly. 2, everybody else I've been talking to, or I've been getting text messages like crazy, that it's been crazy for them too. And so I want to make sure that people know that the rest of this month's still going to have some craziness. But when it comes on the feeling energy, especially dealing with relationships right now, once Venus gets into Sagittarius, even though Saturn's there, it is a little bit, I think, easier than Venus at the edge of Scorpio after a full moon in Aries and all that stuff. Like, I think the relationship energy at least gets a little bit better, per se. I think it was kind of difficult for people to deal with this weekend. It was not easy. It was not simple. And so I think it'll help people to start to see that they're not alone out there. Because I think people feel like they're alone or they're the only one going through it. Yada, 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 when really that's just not true. So let's go to the chat room right now. I'm in the chat room if you want to speak with me. We got almost 600 people in here, so we're rolling pretty good. Somebody just said, yes, tough decision, but at peace about it. Insane in the membrane. Who is Julian Assange? I keep hearing about this. Did I miss this? Can somebody please enlighten me about this? People have been asking me this all over the place. Is this a person? Is this a movie? Is this a dog that got lost? Who is Julian Assange? Let's look this up. I'm completely at a loss. I really don't know who this is. Oh, it's the WikiLeaks guy. I should probably save a lot of this energy for when I do more of my political show. Okay, I know who that is now. You know what's funny? I know who he is, but I didn't know that was like him. Like, I know what's going on with it. I just okay. I'm just gonna be real with everybody. Like, when it comes to names and stuff like that, I just I suck. Sometimes I call people by the wrong name. Like, I got Pluto in the third house. I got Saturn in the third house. I got Mars in the third house. I'm a North Node in Gemini. I got Chiron in Gemini. I'm not perfect, but I'll say a lot of stuff. I get about 1 million words to every 10,000 words wrong, if that makes sense. So I'm usually 99%, 98% on, but I do a lot of words. So sometimes I don't get it. Sometimes I don't get the person's name either. So don't take it personal when I call you the wrong name. Everybody, okay, so I don't know what happened to him. I was dealing with my own shit this weekend. You know what I mean? Dealing with my own shit. But I could tell you, if we do look at the astrology, we are now going to move into a big phase just within the next 12 hours. Just the fact that the moon is going to finish in Taurus, Venus is going to get out of detriment, move into positive Sagittarius, and on top of that, Mercury has come off the Mars Pluto, so I think our minds are going to start feeling a little bit more at peace. Mercury is catching up to the sun, and on top of that, it's coming into an opposition with Uranus by Wednesday, which is going to be electric, exciting, but also at the same time, I think the final touches to understanding whatever is going on in your life that you might be still confused over. I think we're coming out of a massive, massive confusing time period in our lives, not only because the Saturn-Neptune square that happened on September, it's been happening for the last, all of 2016, but it's starting to resonate now, and people are all kind of scattering to find where to go next. Relationships took a big hit with this Libra transit, with this full moon, with this Venus detriment. But I think we move into a much better energy, and the moon is going to come into Gemini tomorrow, which we'll see what happens with that for people. You should watch the Leo King app and watch what I say about all that stuff, because I think it will truly help you out a lot. So I'll be right back. I actually have to adjust one more camera for this position. I'm going to show you 1 minute commercial. Don't go nowhere. You're watching the Leo King live on his Facebook. I will be back in a moment.
Wake up to astrology like you've never seen before.
So maybe I lied a little bit. No, I didn't lie. I also had to get a Sprite, if you guys know me. So funny, I watched 50 people leave. Couldn't handle the commercial. Can't just wait 1 minute for me to get a Sprite and adjust camera 3. Camera 3 was not working. We got some sunlight we're dealing with here, But there's a lot going on right now in the universe, and it already kind of happened. Now, if there was one more way for me to describe the edge of Venus in Scorpio, let's see. I know exactly what to show you. I think it'll help out a lot. By the way, I'm still in the chat room, folks. By the way, just way side note, okay? Way side note here. I still have a Note 7, okay? This is just like good banter. They have been telling me, recall this phone, it's going to blow up. Okay. I go to T-Mobile, try to turn it in. No, well, we have nothing to replace it with except like an old Samsung Galaxy S6, like from 2 years ago. I'm like, well, you're kidding me, right? I already have an iPhone 7. It's like, so anyway, I'm keeping this thing. I don't know if it's going to blow up every day. And I don't, you know what? To be honest with you, I'm freaked out. I keep this thing in my pants, might just blow off my wiener. You never know, man. But somebody asked actually a question in the chat room right now. What is the house beat in that commercial? That's the Leo King, dog. I just make my own beats just for commercials and stuff. Like it's not even a track. I haven't even named the track. They call it app commercial track. I built that track in 10 minutes. But anyway. So Venus at Scorpio at the last degree. This is what it is. And it kind of is a rough one. So if you have Venus in Scorpio, don't take this the wrong way. But because I'm just talking about the energetic energy of what it is. It's kind of a gnarly, intense aspect. The reason why Venus is at detriment in Scorpio is because it's very harsh and it will do whatever it wants. Taurus at least has values to hold. You can lose your values in Scorpio and only go into desires, death, taxes, murder, crazy stuff. Although, what's funny is Taurus also does rule some of that stuff with greed and stuff. But it's a weird thing. But anyway, this is what I feel Venus looks like when it's also in Scorpio. Well, it's true though. It's like it's the queen kind of hiding itself, and it's a little hard because it kind of disguises and holds things in and doesn't expose what it's really doing. And I think that can become kind of hard and kind of intense for people because people want to be shown exactly what's going on in a relationship, exactly what people are feeling, exactly how they are. And here's this pretty little apple that comes out. Like, take a look at this, kitty. And, there's the and it's like, is the real feeling finally going to come out? And we might try and manipulate or bullshit, just like the queen's doing right now. She's wearing a crazy, she's not wearing a costume. And see, even the light knows, right? The birds or the light and the Palladians or whatever you want to call it. And then here comes like Snow White. Oh gosh, what's wrong? Get out of there. Stop hurting her. And I think people that are easily manipulated get very easily manipulated with Venus and Scorpio transit stuff. And you got to be careful because you got to see she's like that queen is manipulating her 100%. Like, oh, I'm hurt. I played golf all weekend and my back hurts. Oh, do you have a bathroom in here? I just took Malox. Oh, gosh, and too much prune juice. Oh, gosh, but no, she's gone. Now I'm going to find a way to make sure the apple has the bad thing in it. And here, eat the apple now. No, that's Venus and Scorpio, folks. One side of it. There's many other sides. The positive side of Venus and Scorpio, because we know this story. I mean, if we want to keep going, we can keep going. But who wants to see the positive of Venus and Scorpio? Well, let's finish this first. Here, eat this. And there's this kind of aspect to where then she, eats it and it's great. And then really the truth comes out and the exposing comes out. And that's what's hard about Venus and Scorpio. It can also do dark things but the positive, and let me load this video for you. Because I think it'll help people understand the positive. There's a positive too. trying to still think what video to show here. Not an easy thing to do, you know. I had it in my head and then I lost it for a second. Not the easiest thing to do here. But I would say, like, if I were to just describe the positive Venus in Scorpio, you know, it's commitments. It could be marriage. It could be but you got to be 100% satisfied. So, you know, it's kind of like, I know, like, I know exactly what it is. This is another Venus in Scorpio, but it actually is a different way to look at it. Very similar, but also still rolling with that the same way. I don't know if you guys all know Basic Instinct with Sharon Stone. It's got a very sexual connotation to it when they're interviewing her, and she's telling them a story that they want to hear. If you know this movie, she's kind of intense, but also she shows off her legs to kind of get everybody there. This is another Venus Scorpio. So the positive is going to be extremely, very sexually attracted. She's trying to get Michael Douglas to get, you know, into a position that she wants. Oh, there's the scene. Sorry. I mean, I don't know if we actually saw it there, but this is on YouTube, folks. So, but that's Venus Scorpio too. The positive is, man, you can find a really juicy connection, but you know, the rating of this is it exactly what you want? Is it not what you want? Michael Douglas, I mean, this guy will move mountains to try and hook up with her in this movie. At the same time, try and put her away. It's kind of a crazy movie, Basic Instinct. I don't know if you've seen it. That's another Venus and Scorpio trait, but Venus and Scorpio doesn't really, you know, it really has a lot of deep inner stuff it's got to get out. You got to be really committed to it or not. And there's an actual intuitive aspect of Venus and Scorpio to where it's like, I know what's going on. I know it's going to end a certain way. And am I going to believe in my own bullshit and try to go through even though I know it's wrong and it's not right? Or there's this part where it's like, I know it's going to end good and I know it's going to do right, so I'm going to do it. That's the positive. You see that it's going to work or you see if it's not. It's just whether or not you believe in that bullshit. When you got the sun in Libra during this kind of a transit with Venus at the end of Scorpio, I mean, you're dealing with hanging on the fence. I'm not sure, but Mars and Pluto are forcing you to make a hard, tough decision. And here's the moon in Taurus saying you got to hold the value in the things that you want. That's the best way I could describe what's happened in 30 minutes, 28 minutes of Venus at the end of Scorpio and the times that we were in while drinking a Sprite. I mean, you know, that's how I could put it. But, you know, you look at that, man, that's what we've been going through. Venus, 29 Scorpio. Woo! And, you know, if you really think about it, Venus was in Virgo, right? Not a fun place for Venus. That's where its worst position is. It's at the fall. Then it comes into its favorite position, Libra. And then it goes into detriment. So Venus goes through a really bipolar energy. Relationships are kind of shitty. Then there's like this, oh, well, maybe this is finally going to go some way I want it to. And then it goes, well, never mind. And then Venus comes into Sagittarius where it kind of is, it's all right there. It's fiery. It's excited. And then it comes into Capricorn where it's really straight-laced. Then it comes into Aquarius where there's a lot of craziness. Then it comes into Pisces where it's exalted and it's good. Then it comes into Aries where it's at detriment as well and it's kind of Then it comes into Taurus where it's at home. Then it comes into Gemini where it's all right. And then it comes to, the best is after Venus actually leaves Pisces. There's always a good run there of Venus. And Venus is going to retrograde actually in 2017 in the spring in the Northern Hemisphere in Aries, believe it or not, back into Pisces. It's going to be kind of an interesting retrograde that we're going to come into. You know, this next 6 months here, I think for relationship wise, that it kind of set in stone here, this Libra transit, plus the transit that happened of the eclipses over the September, you know, this next 6 months is going to be kind of intense, kind of edgy, kind of, really looking at what you really want, what you really desire. And if it's not all there, you can't just say, I'll take it this way. No, you got to actually step into, this is what I really want. And if I'm not getting what I want, and people might think that's ego, people might not think, and it's hard to find compromise, but it's really about mirroring your authentic self. That's what I believe this comes to. That's what I believe this comes to. So we are going to jump right back to questions real quick, and then we will count this as the day over. So what are people saying? Some people are saying they're looking forward to Venus and Sag. So am I. Just keep swimming. You can get real tired, though. You can get tired. How do we move through the anxiousness and being stuck? The way to move through this anxiousness is you have to find that you are mirroring a life that you love and that you are in. And especially with people and especially with everything, like everything kind of needs to be mirrored right. There could be a lot of relief by just making a very simple choice in your life, by being like, you know what? I'm not feeling equal. I'm not feeling level here. I'm not feeling harmony here. I'm not feeling like my harmony is here. What will? It might be something small, like, you know what? Maybe I just need to call that person and tell them I'm not going out with them tonight and I'm going to lay in my bed tonight. Okay, the anxiety is going to come down. Or maybe it might be something as simple as I'm just not feeling it with you in this connection or whatever, and it's not going to go this way anymore. So people are bringing up the WikiLeaks guy. I'm very aware of the WikiLeaks guy and everything going on. Just to be honest with you, I'm at a place where, I have said everything I've had to say about politics. I have said who I believe has the chart that's going to win, or at least is a better chart, and people didn't like it. I have said everything I have to say. I have created a movie which literally is all about the age of deception and how we're all being deceived. So it's not like I'm completely blind to what's going on with the WikiLeaks guy. To be honest with you, that is the last thing. I know everything going on with the WikiLeaks and all that stuff. Really, for real, I am. But if you go, you can get my movie, Age of Deception, the movie, and stream it today. It's on YouTube. It's 4 hours long about the deception. The deception is way bigger than whatever you call Hillary Clinton or you call the Democrats or anything. Actually, I watched a very interesting movie. It's called Hillary's America. I watched this movie called Hillary's America last night. It was actually very interesting about the Republican and the Democratic Party and so much about that kind of stuff. Let's see if this thing loads. Yeah, here it is. It's on iTunes. We don't need to actually watch it. Okay. So it's a very interesting movie going into the secret history of the Democratic Party. I think a lot of people should watch it. Growing up, my grandfather was an old school Republican and my grandmother. And they used to volunteer, and they were huge Republicans who used to do a lot of things and taught me about the whole entire history of the Republican Party. And a lot of the stuff in that movie is very fact-checkable and actually true. But, I think people are saying... I think if you gotta reset your video. Well, anyways, good thing I was recording this thing live. But anyway, or recording this. But anyway, so I'll put this out there. That's just the way it is. So, Hillary's America, I thought was a good movie. Anyway, maybe the universe is or the government's trying to have me stop talking. Anyway, thanks for all the support, everyone. I truly appreciate it. And I will see you on the next live video that I do. I appreciate it.